Article 76 of the Constitution, the cabinet. There shall be a cabinet which shall consist of the president, the vice president, and not less than and not more than 19 ministers of state. What is the role of the cabinet? 76(2). The cabinet shall assist the president in the determination of general policy of the government. That's what the cabinet is there to do, to assist the president in the general determination of the policy of the government. So there's a government subcommittee called the Economic Management Team. They are doing the work of the cabinet, which is to assist the president in the determination of general policy of the government. What is Economic Management Team? Economic Management Team is not constitutional, but it's a very good thing. Economic Management Team is a very good thing. It is a very good thing, but it's not constitutional. It was created by the intelligence people of the NDC2 government. My friends, Kwame Na Ahoy, Ato Ahoy, Totobi Kwache, Kwame Pepra, all those people who created Professor Mills as a vice president in 1996. It was their idea that in order to strengthen the vice president's office, so that's why that period we don't remember a chief of staff. It was Nana Atodazi, but his role was not really clear. The first chief of staff we remember was Kojon Pinim, Jacob Echebelamte, Kojon Pinim, and others. Nana Atodazi was there, but the role of the vice president had been bloated quite a bit, technically bloated, to make Professor Mills particularly relevant and make Professor Mills actually the leader of the government's thoughts. This was where Economic Management Team came from. Professor Mills, they wanted to make Professor Mills the leader of the government thought. So they created this Economic Management Team for Professor Mills to head. JJ was enamored of Professor Mills, no doubt about that in those days. So he agreed. And that's where Economic Management Team came from. It's a good thing, and it's good we keep it. For instance, they had Presidential Advisory Council. Mills had one. Kuffour has one. Akufo-Addo has never had one. What's the point about it? So does it mean it's a good thing? But Akufo-Addo is making his decisions as the president. And Dr. Bawumia was not running away from the government record. He was telling us that when it comes to e-levy, back there, he gave different advice. But the advice, whether it's taken or not, is the decision of the president. And who says that Akufo-Addo is not willing to defend his record? He is going to run a sessional address to Parliament very soon. You hear him. He is very confident in defending his record about free SHS, etc., etc. When the president has taken a policy decision, it may look bad now, it may look good later. It may be good today, it will become bad later. Whatever it is, posterity will judge the president of Ghana who secured the majority votes from the people to run a government for 4 years and perhaps to run another term for another 4 years. It's a political question that will be answered by the people today, tomorrow, and every day, because posterity will continue to judge. In 2008, those of you who are in Ghana, if you pick Ghanaian media 2008 and look at the ratings of J.A. Kuffour, president of the day, it will be far below even zero. If you look at the propaganda that was spewed against him, it will be far below zero. Today, everybody calls Kuffour a hero because we now see the sense in what he did in terms of the policy initiative that he created. So a policy decision by a president is for the president, is by the president. He takes the decision and faces the political question. And that's what I'm saying. And as we have seen, it may be bad today, but tomorrow it will look good. It will be good today. Tomorrow it can look bad. Whatever it is, posterity will judge. What is important is that the leader had conviction in making that decision, and a leader, before he becomes a leader, has a vision to deliver something for the people of Ghana. That's what it's about. So I'm very confident, and those of you who know Akufo-Addo will tell you, Akufo-Addo is going to defend his record. He's going to be in parliament and talk about it. He's going to give data, because sometimes the atmosphere can make people make a judgment that may be absolutely wrong. The atmosphere can make people make a judgment of a government is bad when it's actually not bad. It all depends on the atmosphere, the political temperature. All of that helps in making that decision. But in sober moments, when we have crossed the line and have crossed many weeks, we come back to Kuffour and say that he was a hero. The same Kuffour that everybody was condemning because of NDC propaganda in 2008, because they needed to win an election. It wasn't about policy. It wasn't about issues. It was just about an agenda to make people look bad. And say things that are not true about people. People believe that Kuffour had done something wrong, and it turned out that Kuffour had not done anything wrong. Okay, now here is the pictures I wanted. This is the colossal J.H. Mensah, who was Minister of Finance in 1969 when John Kuffour was Deputy Minister. They have a relation though. This is Yao Osafo Mafo, who is a very experienced person. I'm talking about the HIPIC. When HIPIC was given, I can tell you viewers for free tonight, that the HIPIC decision was opposed by J.H. Mensah, who was senior minister to the government. It was also opposed by Osafo Mafo, who was Minister of Finance to the government. It was a decision made by J.A. Kuffour. It was a single decision. taken by the president. And I'll tell you another experience still on this matter. On that day when the 2001 budget was presented to Parliament, I was in Parliament that day. I think I was with Samens. And we had obtained, in those days, it was normal for Joy FM to try and obtain the budget statement. We did it in 2001. I think they started doing 99. So we had obtained the budget document whilst we got into Parliament from our sources at the Ministry of Finance. The three of us happened to be standing with the Minister for National Security, Albert Kandapa. At that time, he had just passed vetting to become Minister for Energy. Very powerful minister and a very exciting person. Kandapa was a friend of the youth, so we all sort of coalesced around him. He was a member of Parliament for a HIPIC. I shall never forget that. So, in the budget document, as the preparation of the document or the preparation of Parliament was going on, my attention was drawn to by some men that look at section 35. I still remember it, 35. It said that Ghana will access the HIPIC initiative. I said, wow. So there, because, let me give you the back. Before then, there was the British Minister for International Development had been flown in town. I forget her name now. It will come. And she was campaigning for Ghana to sign up to HIPIC. By that time, Jubilee 2000 was also doing their push for the world to forgive debts of African countries and all of that. Akoto Ampah was leading it, so I was aware of it. And we knew that J.H. Mensah was against us. We were going to ministers' offices to try and get a sense of a sniff of what the government is going to do. So ahead of the budget preparation, it was a very big story whether the budget itself was going to contain the announcement or not. The budget was to be presented by Osafo Mafu. And he was going to read the budget. He's finance minister. And we're aware that he was not particularly inclined to this HIPIC idea. So we didn't know what will happen. Then it was there. 35. The government has decided to assess the HIPIC initiative. Okay. So we told it to Kandapa. He was surprised. He's a minister of cabinet. He's a communication. He was surprised. And he said, oh, they've taken the decision. And we said, yeah. Now, this is the interesting part. Clearly listening to Osafo Mafu reading it. So I was looking at it as Osafo Mafu was reading it. He was going on, reading it. Then he got to section 35. The 35 that I remember said that Ghana assess HIPIC initiative. Then Osafo Mafu paused and said, Mr. Speaker, I have been directed by His Excellency the President to inform the House that Ghana will access the HIPIC initiative. Not in many of those sentences would the Osafo Mafu proceed with, I have been directed by the President. But in this particular one, he said, I have been directed by the President. That's what he told the Parliament. So that HIPIC initiative was a decision of the directly elected President, John Majekum Kuffour. J.H. Mensah thought it was bad. Osafo Mafu thought it was bad. Posterity has come. What do you think about HIPIC? Some people will say it was good. Some people will say it was bad. But that is what the executive presidency is about. The president makes a decision. And it's a political question. He can be judged anyhow. So that I've not forgotten that afternoon. I went to Adom-Otchere had just become the Adom-Otchere, of course, the Right Honorable Speaker, was at that time the minority chief whip. He had been majority chief whip and transitioned to minority chief. So I went to his office that afternoon, soon after the budget. And I showed you, I said, Charlie, look at this, Honorable. They've taken the HIPIC decision. He said, yeah, but what's wrong with it? I said, but why did Osafo Mafu say at that place that I have been directed by the president? I said, Papa, come, let me show you the budget. Come, the one that came to Parliament, not the concern one you go from finance. The one that came to Parliament, come, let me show it to you. Then he showed it to me. At the top, it's written, the budget of His Excellency, the President of Ghana. You can check, ask parliamentary reporters, check, they will tell you. The budget that goes to Parliament is the budget of His Excellency the President. It is only read by the Finance Minister because the President has given him that responsibility so to do. And Adom-Otchere told me that afternoon that Kwame Nkrumah used to read his own budget. And I said, oh wow, he said, yes, the budget is the President's budget. The budget is the Finance Minister's budget. That is why in this 8th Parliament, we have seen another person other than the Finance Minister read the budget appointed by the President. It was the president who decided that Chairman Sabosu should read this budget because Ken Ofuriatta is not available. It's a decision of the president because it is his budget. It is not your budget, my budget. It's not the vice president's budget. It is the president's budget. And the president would defend his record. I bet you Akufo-Addo is going to descend on Parliament and defend his record. So what was Bawumia running away from? He wasn't running away from anything. He was saying that on e-levy, I have a different view, and I still hold my different view on that. But that is the beauty of a government. There's a book written by Lincoln and it's written about Lincoln and Lincoln's government. It's entitled A Team of Rivals. Those of you who like to read, journalists who are interested, look for the book, A Team of Rivals. That's how Abraham Lincoln's cabinet was described. It was described as a team of rivals. It was said to be the cabinet that aided American policy the most. But they were a team of rivals because they never agreed on anything. And all of them were very brilliant people. So by the time the idea is honed and honed and honed, it becomes a powerful idea. The way the idea is implemented and the way the idea comes, it's become such a powerful idea. Lincoln's government. So an executive government like in America or in Ghana does not do collective responsibility. It is the decision of the president. The president is assisted by his ministers. Ministers may agree, may disagree. Finally, the president makes the decision. So if Mahamudu Bawumia says that, I wasn't particularly excited about e-levy. So when I'm president, I will not do e-levy. And then they say he's running away from something. He's running away from the mess. He's running away from what? He said the president gave me responsibility to deliver digitization. I delivered it. The president gave the responsibility to another person to do that. There's economic management team, but it doesn't have binding powers. Economic management team was a creation of some very smart NDC people who wanted to build an empire for Professor Mills, an empire of political dominance and policy leadership. For Mills, that's why they did economic management team. It is for some clever people. It's not a creator of the 1992 Constitution. It's not a creator of Parliament. It's not a creator of the judiciary. It's a creation of some intelligent minds who wanted to create something for their friend who had been vice president. Everyone else after that thought it was a good idea, so they maintained it. It is truly a good idea, but it's not a creation of the 1992 Constitution. So if a vice president who is chairman of the economic management team says, we are proud of the advice we gave, not all advice was taken. Not all advice of the economic management team will be taken. It's a decision of the executive president who is directly elected by the people. Julius Debra is here. 29th October 2016. Julius Debra said, in every moving vehicle, there is someone behind the steer and a driver's mate. The driver determines which direction the car moves. The mate may have a say, but the driver takes the ultimate decision. In this simple analogy, President John Mahama is the driver. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, a vice presidential candidate, will be the driver's mate should Nana Addo win, and cannot have ultimate power. If he proposes something for you and Nana Addo says later, there is nothing he can do about it. Julius Debra was addressing voters in the north when they were comparing President Mahama. And this is how history comes to haunt all of us. And this is where we will bring our presentation on the Mahamudu Bawumia first part to a close and then go and look at some of the things he said. Yeah, and then, I mean, yes, it's good. It's a good time to introduce this one. This is Gutta President saying that Bawumia's vision, and I like the way he puts it, I like the way he received it. It is a vision of a leader. We are looking for a vision. A leader who is going to produce a vision for us. That's what we are looking for, isn't it? That's what we are looking for. Bawumia's vision, he says, I am overly excited because this is exactly what I want to hear. It means he has been listening to all the things we have been saying. Dr. Joseph Obeng is the president of GUTA, that's Ghana Union of Traders Association. That's what he said. It's a vision. So let's have all the visions and let's interrogate all of them. It's a vision. Is it not a vision? It's a vision. Okay.